This video has been funded in part by the Guild via Patreon. Check out the links in the description or at the end of this video for more details.
Hello everyone, my name is Chris Gildart and welcome to another Pros vs. Cons mini review. 2021's Musou May will be themed around Warriors spin-offs and collaborations with other companies. I plan on reviewing Arslan, the Warriors of Legend, Berserk and the Band of the Hawk, Fire Emblem Warriors, and Hyrule Warriors. The thing is, now Hyrule Warriors has a sequel and I feel like this ruins my plans. Still going ahead with it, but damn you Nintendo and Koei for putting out a game that puts a slight wrench into my idea. Not actually mad though, the first Hyrule Warriors is one of the best in the entire Musou franchise. It is incredibly solid, and although it did really well sales-wise, enough to snag a 3DS and Switch port after its initial launch on Wii U, I never expected a sequel, especially one like this. Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity is a prequel to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I honestly couldn't get into Breath of the Wild. Not because it had a bad story or didn't do good with the open world, it was really the weapon damage system that threw me off. I think Breath of the Wild would have been a much better game if the weapons had more health or didn't break at all. But I think that's going too deep into other topics, so I'll save that for another video. I did my best, as always, to steer clear of any information or gameplay footage of Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. I always like jumping into these reviews with little knowledge of what's going on. I knew it wouldn't have a lot of the same content as the first game since it's more of a canonical title and would need to stick to that. I also knew from the announcement trailer that a lot would be added to help fit it more into the Breath of the Wild style. And thanks to all of my October reviews, I didn't even have a chance to play the demo until the night before launch. So without further ado, we should get on with this. Alright, ready, set, pros. Right off the bat, you will definitely notice how beautiful these visuals are. As much as I like the first game's visuals, I can't deny how incredible it is to see the Breath of the Wild art style in a Warriors game. I love how this looks, the environments, the characters, the enemies, it all looks so beautiful. And even though I didn't like Breath of the Wild, I did love watching other people play it. It's a beautiful game, and so is this one. And you're definitely going to enjoy this game because the stage maps are huge. I tend to try to wipe out the entire enemy army with some of these Warriors games, and you can knock out a stage usually in like 15 to 20 minutes. But Age of Calamity has stages that take 30 to 45 minutes. Some of these even have freaking layers. I absolutely love this. I can't help myself exploring the giant maps. It can be rewarding when you find essentially this game's replacement of the Skulltulas, the Korok seeds. What really helps me coming back and staying for these longer stages is the combat. Similar to what we had with the first Hyrule Warriors and many other Warriors games before it, the combat is simple and solid. You have your normal attacks, your charge attacks, your special attacks, but there are some new additions that help keep Age of Calamity fresh and feeling new. The normal and charge attacks work exactly how you'd expect, but every character has a special ability. What makes it awesome to play as each character is how different they feel thanks to this. Most characters' special abilities interact with their normal attacks, and they all interact differently or have different uses. I find this makes every character feel different. This game has a fraction of the roster of Warriors Auto-Chi 4 Ultimate, but I honestly feel this roster is more unique. You also have various items and Sheikah Slate abilities to use. You have the Fire, Lightning, and Ice Rods, which some enemies are extra weak against. You could say that they are super effective. You can also open up the App Store on the Sheikah Slate to use the Remote Bombs, Magnesis, Stasis, and Cryosis. These are used similar to the items from the first game. Some enemies will stagger when you use them at the right time, opening their weak point. But one thing I really like, and I am horrendous at, is parrying. This is when you dodge at just the right moment. Time slows down and you can mash the Y button, dealing a bunch of damage to their weak point. I'm just really bad at this because I never frickin' time it right. But some of these new items and abilities remind me of Pirate Warriors 4 and Fate Extella Link, and that's a good thing. I also want to talk about a couple of quick things that I really enjoyed. Even though I don't often care about story in a Warriors game, I do like seeing the prequel story to Breath of the Wild, and this is exactly what I wanted. Not only does every stage take over half an hour to finish, but they all pretty well have cutscenes to go along with them. I haven't seen this many cinematics in a Warriors game in a very long time. Lastly, I want to mention how pleasantly surprised I am to see amiibo support. I honestly thought amiibos were dead, but I do enjoy getting a couple more materials on a daily basis. It's not something I would rage at not having, but I'm glad is still here. Anyways, that's all the positives I have for the moment. Now it's time for the wrath of the cons! Alright peeps, can I get an F in the chat for the death of the menu? Yes, this game doesn't have a normal menu. I don't like it. I feel like I'm back playing Warriors All-Stars. I never really liked menus like this, especially when there's a bunch of different options that are just scattered around the map. And before you hit the comment button, I know you can open a more traditional menu, but it's so clunky. Everything is categorized and you have to drop down a menu to bring up the list of stages. I don't know, I just feel like there's a better way to handle this game's options. Can I also get an F in the chat for every character other than Link? I know he's the main character of the franchise, but usually with a Warriors game, every character gets equal-ish options. Link is the only character to get alternate outfits. Like, seriously? We even see Zelda in a different outfit early on. One of my favorite things is cosmetics. I do equip my character with the best optimized equipment, but only up until I am so overpowered I can wipe out an entire army wielding a ladle while wearing a belly dancer garb. I haven't got there yet, but it's coming. There is also the option to dye the color of your costumes in Age of Calamity. It's kind of like the color palette editor from Samurai Warriors 3 and Warriors Odyssey 3 Ultimate, but it's kind of dumbed down a little bit. I do prefer this one because the colors are better designed for the outfit part you're editing, but this is a con, so there's something I have to complain about. Not only do you have to pay each time you change the color, and each color costs a different amount, but Link is the only one you can edit. Link is also the only one who gets any alternate weapons. Each other character only has their one moveset and 3 weapons that you can find and use. But Link has 3 movesets. One with his usual sword and shield, a 2-handed moveset for claymores and great axes, and a spear moveset. No one else gets this. Link is essentially the big actor on the indie set taking up the entire budget so that the other cast members can't even enjoy what time they have in the spotlight. Can I also mention the fact that Zelda's moveset is absolute trash? I miss her old rapier. That was a good moveset, and I really feel like it fit the personality of Zelda. Even going back and playing Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition with the Breath of the Wild outfit and using the rapier made me so wishful that she had an alternate moveset. She feels like those Deception girls in Warriors All-Stars. Wow, 2 references to a game that most people dislike. I also can't believe you can't change the button layout in this game. You could change this in almost every single Warriors game. I hate how the block button is set to the trigger rather than the bumper. I don't understand why. It's always been defaulted to be the left bumper. Why would you change this? I can't even count the amount of times I've accidentally used the fire rod when trying to block or jump back after being knocked down. Lastly, something I was incredibly surprised that was so forgettable was something that almost every Warriors game gets right. It's something I've just come to expect from a Warriors game to be good. I even enjoy this aspect of Warriors games when I'm not playing the games themselves. The music. I always listen to Warriors soundtracks when I'm doing random other things. I'm probably listening to some Warriors music right now while editing this video, but it's not like I wouldn't put this soundtrack in my playlist. It's not bad, it's just forgettable. It is background music. It is not a soundtrack. I don't know if that makes sense, but I never paused the game and was like, oh shit, this is a banger. There are even songs that shouldn't have been used on the battlefield, but they are. And it is unfair to compare this to the original Hyrule Warriors because that had the opportunity to use some of the most iconic songs in the franchise, but Age of Calamity's music is just so forgettable. In the end, I am so happy Hyrule Warriors got a sequel. When this was first announced, I was super excited. I am so happy this game was able to fill itself to the brim with story and content. Sure, there are some nitpicks that I had with this game, like the fact that Link is the only playable character set for life with his paycheck, the clunky map menu, and the music being subpar. But there are so many great things about this game that I can't overlook. Every character feels unique and fun to play as. Except Zelda. Nintendo, Koei, if you put out any DLC, just give her a different weapon. Also some alternate costumes for the other characters. Please. But I can't help but play this game. I even recorded more gameplay than I usually need for these mini reviews, and you've probably noticed by the length of this review, it's a little longer than the last few. Without a doubt, Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity gets a thumbs up from me. I haven't played enough to say whether or not I like this more than the first Hyrule Warriors game, but this has the potential to enter my list of favorites in the franchise. Anyways, everyone, thank you so much for watching my mini review of Age of Calamity. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and subscribe for more. Did you like Age of Calamity? How do you think it stacks up against the first Hyrule Warriors? If you'd like to support this channel and what I do here, you can join the Guild, like these awesome people you are seeing on screen right now. You can join them at the end of every single video for just $1 a month. There's other rewards and other tiers as well, so check out the links that you see on screen, and I will see you all down in the comments.